At this hour, Fukushima's operators say they are close to completing a new power line to the plant, which could restore the failing reactor's cooling systems. Despite that news, concerns remain over dangerous radiation levels, spent fuel rods, and unexplained white smoke seen spewing from the damaged reactors today. The water level in Unit 5 is also on the decline. Officials are planning to use an operational diesel generator in Unit 6 to get water to that unit. Then there was this alarming testimony today by U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission Chief Gregory Yaxo regarding Unit 4's condition.
A fourth reactor is also right now under concern. This reactor was shut down at the time of the earthquake. What we believe at this time is that there has been a hydrogen explosion in this unit due to an uncovering of the fuel in the fuel pool. We believe that secondary containment has been destroyed, and there is no water in the spent fuel pool. And we believe that radiation levels are extremely high.
If Chairman Yasko is right, there would be nothing to stop the fuel rods from heating and ultimately melting down. Japanese officials have denied that there is no water in Pool 4, adding that the growing concern over conflicting reports and recommendations coming from the U.S. and Japan.
We all have watched on television and read about the damage at the various reactors and the potential for emissions. Based on that new information, the new data, and the independent analysis, the NRC is now advising an evacuation beyond 50-mile radius. So because that the advice is no longer in agreement, we are obviously advising American citizens that they listen to the NRC and the State Department.
The U.S. Air Force is now sending a WC-135 aircraft to sample the air over Japan at their government's request. The decision comes on the same day several more U.S. helicopters showed low levels of radiation upon returning from humanitarian flights in the region. And an alarmed U.S. official has told ABC News if Japanese officials do not get the situation at the Fukushima nuclear plant under control within the next 24 to 48 hours, they could have a situation that will be, quote, deadly for decades. Joining me now from London, NBC News Chief Environmental Affairs Correspondent Ann Thompson. Ann, what do you make of the conflicting views now that seem to be emerging between United States officials and Japanese officials on the severity of the situation?
Lawrence, this is something that has been going on almost ever since the crisis began, is just how good is the information that is coming out of Japan. And it's not just U.S. officials who have questioned it. The officials from the International Atomic Energy Agency based in Vienna, the UN's atomic watchdog, they have questioned just how good the information is that's coming out. And the head of the NRC, Gregory Jaczko, when he met with reporters following his congressional testimony this afternoon, he did not back down from his claim that there is no water in the spent fuel pool at reactor number 4. He says his staff is he is talking to his staff in Tokyo, and they are talking to experts in Japan's nuclear industry, and he did acknowledge the disagreement with Japanese authorities, but he said he stands by his information. He also added that he hopes his information is wrong. But that is something that has been going on for several days now. And in fact, tonight you see the British government urging its citizens to leave Tokyo and to leave the northern part of Japan, because it says it's not that there is an immediate health concern, but clearly they're worried about the uncertainty surrounding what is going on at the Fukushima 1 plant, and also the fact that you're dealing with a country that has 3 major crises all at once that it's trying to deal with. I mean, the nuclear crisis alone is trouble enough, and then you add to that a tsunami and an earthquake on top of it. And so tonight, Britain has joined France and Germany and several other countries in urging its citizens to leave Tokyo and the north part of that country. And
given your experience covering these kinds of environmental disasters, How would you rate the credibility of the various players, and where would you point us in terms of paying attention for the highest credibility information coming out?
Well, I mean, I think, look, you know, I'll be honest with you. I covered BP, the BP oil spill, and this whole situation, the way it is unfolded, has reminded me an awful lot of the crisis in the Gulf. At first, they're always telling you, you know, nothing's wrong, we've got it under control, and then, you know, day after day, it becomes more and more clear that they don't have it under control. I mean, clearly, if you don't have water in a spent fuel pool, that's a really big problem. And even tonight, the IAEA released data about the temperatures in the spent fuel pools at units 4, 5, and 6, and you can see that they are increasing, and that's a real problem because you want to keep those temperatures down, because as they increase, then you run this risk of melting, and that's what they're trying to avoid. Who's the honest broker here, Lawrence? I don't. The truth is, I don't know, and I'm not sure anyone knows. You've got people who are trying to get the best information they can, but when they're not sure of the information, that's why you have governments urging their people to leave, because you just can't take that risk.
NBC News Chief Environmental Affairs Correspondent Ann Thompson reporting to us from London. Thank you for joining us tonight, Ann.
Take care.